Hello, I am the Notherian, and I'm pleased to be sitting down today with Zrandles, who is the top seed in Sunday's pool for the upcoming Forgewatch Invitational, and probably one of the most accomplished competitive players in the short history of Soulforge. Thanks a lot for coming, Zach.
My pleasure.
And while we talk, I'm just going to play out Game of Soulforge against Zrandles. We're just playing some fun decks that show off the some of the new cards from the most recent patch. So I'm playing Woebringer here. And first question I had for Zach was, what's your gaming background? What did you do before you started playing Soulforge?
So I played like almost everybody else, played Magic. But I think I'm a little unusual in that I played a long time ago, back in the 90s. And then when I went off to college, I kind of stopped. And I always had it in the back of my mind that I would like to play again, but there just weren't anybody, there were no people to play with. Um, and so I just kind of forgot about it. Like I've always played other games, video games and sports and lots of competitive things. Um, but at some point, I decided that I would, check to see if something like Magic existed that I could play online. And I didn't really find anything. That was a couple years ago. But I kept searching every once in a while, and finally I came across Ascension, and really enjoyed that. Played it a ton. And then another friend of mine who played Ascension told me about the Soulforge Kickstarter, and so I jumped into that. And ever since, I've been playing a lot of Soulforge.
Excellent. So you said you played Magic back in the day. Best Magic set ever.
um, Man, it's been a long time. I was probably around for maybe three or four. So I think it was Legends, which was
Uh,
just
the set that brought us gold cards.
um is that even the right name? I
Yeah.
I remember it was, yes, okay. So that had come out before I started playing. So those cards were around, but they were pretty rare, and they all seemed really cool to me. And I had no money to spend at all, and so like anytime I could manage to trade for one or win one, like it was a really big event. So that one kind of sticks out for me.
Sure. No, I have fond memories of playing with Legends cards back in the day. Not that I owned as many as I would have liked either. Um, so you said you came to SoulForge by way of Ascension.
Yeah.
What was it that about SoulForge that got you interested or got you hooked?
Well, I'm a little busier than I used to be, so I really like the fact that it's easy to pick up and put down and doesn't require an hour at a time. Um, and I I mean, I also like that it has very deep strategy. And obviously, I didn't know that immediately, but um, I had a pretty good idea from Ascension that the team had a really strong background and that it was pretty likely um, that the game would end up being very strategic and satisfying.
So you were quite successful in the community tournaments that we ran last fall before the release of the most recent patch. And oh, and he fills the lanes for a ferocious roar. This might not end up going well for me. Okay. Anyway, you were quite successful in the community tournaments that we played last fall. What was your favorite deck to play in those tournaments?
Uh, well, at first it was NT Shapers because before the client was released, I had a deck that I loved with three Scorchmane Dragons and three Flame Shapers, and it played kind of similarly to the way NT Shapers ended up playing. But eventually, like everybody else, I think, or most people, I got kind of bored of that. Um, and so I did enjoy playing the Dravatar deck with steel forged avatars and all the draw cards because I do tend to like Aloyan decks for whatever reason. Um, so I enjoyed playing that, especially the first version that had Krogius in it that nobody was really expecting.
Yeah, I suppose the first time you toss out Krogius in a deck that people think is mono Aloyan, you get their attention.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the most satisfying wins I've ever had was with that deck playing a level 2 Krogius that got pumped up somehow and then jetpacked to win the game.
Yeah, yeah, that was back before Jetpack was the useful mobility granting card that it is today.
Right, it was just in there for such a situation.
So, Set 1 Soulforge has a lot of fun cards that have not yet found their way into competitive decks. What's your favorite either fun card or fun theme that you're not playing in the Invitational this weekend, but that you wish was tournament viable?
Um, I would like to see Hinterland Watchman used effectively. I haven't seen him at all in any of the tournaments. I've been playing a lot of tournaments lately. I think he's cool and splashy and entertaining.
And now actually
Uh,
works.
yeah, and he works now. Um,
Um,
I think I don't know if this is viable. It might be, but I haven't. I think I've only seen one person play it. But I think it'd be fun to see a zombie deck. I like the new flavor. It feels much more zombie-like.
mm,
These things that return from the dead and are impossible to kill.
yes, you just can't get rid of Zarath.
Yes.
Let's do. I think I'm behind, and I certainly don't want to give you that Phoenix activation. Uh, so, um, Set 1 is finally complete, and it'll be exciting to see this weekend how the metagame shapes up now that all the cards for Set 1 are available to play with. But I'm sure we're all eagerly awaiting Soulforge Set 2. And so, do you have any thoughts on things you'd like to see or directions you hope they go in Soulforge Set 2?
I'm definitely excited to see structures.
Uh,
They've been in the works from the beginning, and I understand that it's a difficult challenge to display them
mhm.
cleanly. So I didn't expect to see them anytime soon, but that'll be cool when they finally arrive. And I'm also excited about they've talked about maybe having hidden cards
Mm.
that you can play and your opponent doesn't know exactly what it is. Um, so I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I can see how there's a lot of neat design space there. Uh, well, I think that's what I was hoping to get from you. Hopefully, the audience has enjoyed watching me lose this game, and unless I can turn it around with my Technosmith 3.
You
Uh,
might be able to turn this around.
it's it's a long shot. We'll have to see, but we'll continue playing out the game. But I think those are the questions that I was hoping to get answered today, and I hope that people who see this video will tune in to twitch.tv/forgewatch this weekend for the invitational coverage and pool play. I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the top 8 playing the following Saturday. Hopefully, we will see Zrandles there both weekends.
Yep, hopefully. We'll see.
What am I doing here? Finally, drew my level 2 Woebringer.
Ooh, this is interesting. Takes out the lowest.
Yeah, so at least the Technosmith gave me a couple of good draws here into player rank 3. Ooh, and but I don't think I have anything that trades evenly with Stonefist Giant at the moment.
Yeah. But I can't do play the card I want to play.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Woebringer is the more so than most cards, it messes with your opponent's strategy, forces
Yeah.
them to. I noticed back on turn one when I had opened with the Woebringer, you had only played one creature on turn one.
Yeah.
So you had to discard to level. What did you end up discarding there?
That was a Weirwood Patriarch.
Okay, right. Who would have died a horrible death to the Woebringer?
Yeah. Well, Phoenix is a great draw against him. That's
Yes, yeah, it's
one of
one.
the few.
Uh huh. Yeah, it. Let's see. Maybe I will. This isn't a great play, but it's a hand of level 1 cards. Probably eating my own Flesh Fiend here.
This is interesting. I think this probably wins the game.
Oh, yeah.
Question is, do I want to let you eat something and take 20 more damage?
Yeah.
I think I probably do.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't. I'm too low. Oh, no.
Oh.
That's fine. That's fine.
And this should be it. At least got you down to 27. The problem is you get me down to 3, and then the Phoenix. Oh, I was gonna say I died of the Phoenix Death Attack, but okay. Well, anyway, thank you very much for the game, and look forward to seeing what you have in store for us this weekend at the Invitational.